This episode is brought to you by Amazon Prime. There's nothing sweeter than baking cookies during the holidays. With Prime, I get all my ingredients delivered right to my door, fast and free, no last-minute store trips needed. And of course, I blast my favorite holiday playlist on Amazon Music. It's the ultimate soundtrack for creating unforgettable memories. From streaming to shopping, it's on Prime. Visit Amazon.com/Prime to get more out of whatever you're into.
And welcome to a new episode of The Simpsons Did It. I'm your host, Steven Skolansky.
And I'm your co-host, Robert Skolansky.
And this week we're going to the violentest place on Earth.
Yes, the violentest place on Earth.
We are all going to Texas. I mean...
I don't know, man. I was going to say Florida.
Florida? Yeah, maybe.
I mean, some people would say Chicago.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get off that topic.
But
we are still going to go to the most violentest place on Earth, and we'll fill you in on why.
Or maybe it's the happiest place on Earth. Who knows?
Could be the happiest place on Earth, where nothing can possibly go wrong.
I mean, possibly go wrong. That's the first thing that's ever gone wrong.
Yeah, we're 106 episodes, 110 episodes in, and this is the first time anything's ever gone wrong. I feel like that's a good.
It's a good
run.
Yeah, good rate of success.
Yeah, although we've had minor recording issues in the past, so I could definitely say things have gone wrong ever so slightly.
I'm looking forward to this episode and talking about it. It is up there, probably top 10 for me for episodes. But this week we are talking about season 6, episode 4, Itchy and Scratchy Land. Woo-hoo. And there is a ton of Disney references, a ton of movie moment references,
a lot of meme references,
a lot of memes, some good quotes. So let's dive right into it. This aired October 2nd, 1994. So we're coming up on Treehouse of Horror 4? Is it 4?
5, I think.
Is
right?
it 5? It is 5. It's 5. Recap. Bart and Lisa ask their parents to go to Itchy and Scratchy Land, where they get attacked by robots.
Not dinosaurs, as the island would suggest. But but yes, they are going to go to the. It's so weird. It's like I love it, but it's so weird that.
But you know what the reference is, though.
Well, I get the reference, but it's so weird that you pull into a parking lot, and then you have to go onto a helicopter to get to Itchy and Scratchy Land, but then you walk through the gates in the first. It's so weird. It's funny, but it is so weird. I think it would have been cooler if, okay, you got the Itchy and Scratchy Land, you pull into the parking lot, go into the park, but then there's a part of the park that takes you to another park. That's this. That would have been, I think, a little cooler.
And that's kind of like Disneyland.
Exactly.
I mean, it is, but it isn't, because at Disneyland and even Disney World, you have to walk to the different park.
Yeah, exactly. But flying in a helicopter to another park would be fucking awesome.
That would be great. Chalkboard this week. I am not the reincarnation of Sammy Davis Jr.
Was Bart trying to do some blues?
I have no idea.
Was he trying to be Bleeding Gums Murphy?
I have no idea.
And Edna took that as being Sammy Davis Jr.?
I have no idea.
Was Sammy Davis Jr. blind?
He had one good eye, if I remember correctly. If I remember the Adam Sandler Hanukkah song correctly, Sammy Davis Jr. had one good eye.
Okay.
And he was also fully Jewish? I think he was fully Jewish.
Bart was pretending to be Jewish?
I guess.
I don't.
He was pretending to be a pirate, and Edna took that as Sammy Davis Jr.
I don't know.
It's a weird
kind of
chalkboard.
Racist, Bart. You really should watch yourself.
Yeah. The couch gag this week. This is a great couch gag. The family materializes on the couch as if they were being beamed down from the original Star Trek or Starship Enterprise from Star Trek.
Why does it have to be the original? It could be any. The technology exists.
Because according to the book, it says original. Well, don't forget this is 94.
Yeah.
So
but
there's only the one Star Trek show.
When did Next Generation come out?
Next Generation came out. Next Generation. Star Trek. The Next Generation came out in 87.
Yeah,
Well, no,
exactly.
Star Trek The Next Generation was the original TV show, wasn't it?
No, there was Star Trek back in the 60s with William Shatner. What are you talking about?
I don't know anything about Star Trek.
No, I'm saying Star Trek came out in the 60s with William Shatner.
Yeah.
They got beamed back and forth.
Oh, by the way, this is the third series in the Star Trek franchise, the second sequel to Star Trek the original series.
Yeah, so there was a lot more beaming going on. Plus the technology existed to beam from planet to ship to anywhere. So any ship within the
Also, you're right. The 60s, the first season was 1966.
Yeah, exactly. So the beaming could have been from anywhere.
Well, I think the beaming started in Next Generation, didn't it?
No, it was available in the 60s.
The original?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's how they got around. On and off planets.
But did they ever show them getting beamed?
Yeah. Go watch some more Star Trek. Go watch some old William Shatner.
Okay.
All right. So this week, Bart and Lisa start off by watching Itchy and Scratchy on their wonderful TV. And this week, it is The Last Traction Hero.
Yeah.
Which is a reference to The Last Action Hero with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
If you guys have never seen it, it is currently on Netflix. Go check it out.
Ooh.
Scratchy is working out in his gym, getting all buff. I mean, he got buff pretty quick. I mean,
Yeah, he did like three pumps of the barbell, and he was like jacked.
I wish I could be a Scratchy on that one. That would be great. But he buffed up, starts flexing for Itchy, which would have been funnier if he was flexing for like girl kitties. In the gym. Like he's showing off, being a big tough kitty, and then Itchy comes by and starts poking him, but Itchy kind of imagines, oh, he's big and buff. He's like a balloon. Like balloons pop. Yeah. And then he goes and pokes Scratchy in the chest, and he's like, ha, 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 you can't hurt me. And then Scratchy immediately pokes him over his entire body, and he starts to bleed heavily, and he sits down all like, obviously like running out of blood. And so Itchy comes back with a chainsaw, saws off his biceps and pectoral muscles, and then Itchy and Scratchy kind of break from the scene.
Oh yeah.
like okay, folks, we're gonna here to tell you about a new theme park that's the violentest place on earth. And they say it's opening weekend for Itchy and Scratchy Land.
Yes.
So, I mean, shouldn't this have been probably announced like a week before the like?
Well, don't forget.
I feel like Bart and Lisa would have known about this like a year or two in advance.
Well, so here's the thing: it's Krusty themed stuff.
But why?
And so
it's so weird that this is obviously like a national, get together like Disney or Universal Studios. It's like it's a national thing. I didn't think Krusty the Clown Show was national, or Itchy and Scratchy in general was a national.
Why wouldn't it be national? You just assumed it wasn't national.
I know everything's tied to Springfield. I didn't assume that everyone in the United States or the world, obviously, because we'll get to this at the end, but the entire world seemingly knows about Itchy and Scratchy.
Well, they know about it. They just don't care about it.
I guess.
Well, again, it's a parody. Again, a lot of this stuff is a parody of Disney.
Yes, but it's just kind of funny to think about. Like, okay, I thought Itchy and Scratchy was just, I mean, I guess Bozo the Clown kind of had a similar thing.
Yeah, but Bozo the Clown was all over America.
It was, yeah. I guess Krusty the Clown could be. I just didn't think of Krusty the Clown as a national. Now I wonder if Itchy and Scratchy is just on other clown shows around America then.
Well, it's also possible that Krusty is syndicated and they just show it all over the place.
Well, maybe. But
And they just film it in Springfield.
I guess so. I guess
It's a television show.
I just never thought about the Krusty the Clown show like that, and it never made it seem like it was, even like when they do the Itchy and Scratchy with Marge, Itchy and Scratchy versus Marge, everything was consolidated to Springfield. It didn't seem like it was getting national news.
I also think that earlier episodes, because they went places in earlier seasons, but I think they wanted to make it more just consolidated to Springfield, and then I think the Simpsons creative team realized, oh, this show we're going to do a little bit longer, so let's open up the world a little bit. So I think that's why you get the feeling that, oh, everything's just tied to Springfield.
Yep.
But I also think you also have to look at it too of the perspective that, oh yeah, older Simpsons, they thought maybe they're going to do like 5-6 seasons, and then Fox is like, here's 30 billion more seasons. Open this shit up. So I think this is them realizing, oh yeah, we're going to be on a lot longer. Let's open up this, to the entire world. And so like that, I think that's the deviation of the line of thinking that you're at.
Gotcha. So the opening weekend, they're cutting ticket prices in half, instead of charging full price for opening weekend.
Yeah.
Like, did they not get the there it is. They didn't get the draw that they thought they were gonna get.
Now I have a question. So they say opening weekend. They don't say grand opening. They say right? They never say grand opening?
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean,
did they say new theme park?
Yes, it was a new theme park. Yes.
Okay, it was new. Okay, yep. Because like I hear opening weekend and I think, oh, like opening week. Yeah, like they're opening for the season. But if they said new theme park,
they said a new theme park.
Yeah, you're right. The advertising on this is crap.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like it's a brand new theme park. So not only does Bart and Lisa not know about it.
Yeah.
I mean, they knew more about Duff Gardens than they knew about Itchy and Scratchy Land. But so opening weekend, obviously advertising sucked because they didn't have much of a draw. So like, oh, come to opening weekend. And the funny thing is we'll get this even farther down the line, but they actually have to drive to this shit.
Yeah.
So like they're learning about it now, and they have to convince Marge and Homer that they have to go like literally right now. Marge obviously is a homemaker. Homer apparently isn't going to take off of work. They're just going to up and go. But anyway, so back to where we're at. So they're cutting ticket prices in half, and instead of cutting the sign that says half price tickets, Itchy just stabs Scratchy in the head with a pair of scissors, and Scratchy pulls out his brain.
And he just kind of sits there and drools and talks because he has no brain.
Yep, he has no brain. And so Krusty tells the kids to listen to the talking rat and go ask their parents to go to the theme park. And Krusty says, you won't miss anything because I'm just going to be reading a grown-up newspaper.
It's just a horse racing thing.
Yep. And so Krusty looks up. Go tell them now. And they
honestly, I'm very impressed with that because like with commercials, a lot of like commercials are geared, like especially ones for like toys for kids, are obviously geared towards kids so that they'll go ask their parents, because if a parent sees a commercial, they're like, I'm not going to buy that for my kid. But if the kid, as what Bart and Lisa are about to do, try to convince their parent to buy it. Like, I don't think we really ever did that as kids. No. We would see a commercial and I think our mom drilled it into our heads that she wasn't going to buy us anything.
Yeah, pretty much.
But like, I don't know. Usually like when Six Flags usually came up, I think it was usually her idea, wasn't it?
Yes, but we weren't really allowed to go until we did that 600-minute reading club thing. That was kind of the big thing. Like, if you want to go to Six Flags, that's how you're going. Until we were able to buy season passes ourselves.
Yeah.
So Lisa and Bart race to the kitchen, or race to Homer, who is apparently just reading a Bible. Yeah. And Lisa's like, Dad, remember how you said that going to Itchy and Scratchy Land would be too damn expensive? Oh, everything's too damn expensive these days. Look at this Bible I just got. $15. And talk about a preachy book. Everybody's a sinner. And then he points to a page. Except for this guy.
I would have loved if the Bible had, like, the Bible he was reading had like a $15 sticker on it, but it said property of Ned Flanders.
Yeah, see, that's even better.
That would have been better because, yeah, Homer's like, yeah, this Bible is $15, but then it would have shown he clearly stole it from Ned.
Yep. And Bart's like, but now Itchy and Scratchy Land is cutting ticket prices in half. Can we go, Dad? Can we? Take it, Lise. Can we? And then Homer's like, no. Go ask your mother.
Dude, I don't, did our parents really ever do that to us where, like, we would ask Dad for something and he'd go ask Mom?
No, I feel like, no, it'd be the other way around. I feel like we'd ask Mom if we could do something and she'd say no. And so we go to Dad and Dad'd be like, oh, sure.
Yeah. I don't think we really ever did that though.
I
don't really remember doing that.
No, we were too
because usually if we asked our mother and she said no, that was the end of it.
Yep. So Lisa and Bart go tell their mom. It's like, hey, we're going to Itchy and Scratchy Land. like Homer said yes.
Yeah.
And Marge says no. We've already planned our vacation to the Highway 9 Bird Sanctuary. And you just see their look on their faces like, what are you talking about? Bird Sanctuary?
Yeah.
And Marge says that they installed a new feeder that is shaped like a diner on a really long pole. And the kids just look at her again like, what are you talking about?
I've had that look on my face a few times when Mom's like, oh, we're going to go do this. And I'm like, why?
Yep.
Why?
All right, we got our first meme moment coming up.
Okay.
So Lisa pulls a wagon holding a seemingly dead Bart into Marge and Homer's bedroom. And Lisa's like, Mom, Dad, Bart's dead. And Homer and Marge are like gasp sitting up. And then Bart quickly sits up. That's right. Dead serious about going to Itchy and Scratchy Land. Oh, that's good. I like it.
Yeah.
And Lisa's like, Itchy and Scratchy Land isn't just for kids. They have a place called Parents Island. Yeah. Dancing, bowling, fashionable shops, over 100 bars and saloons, and a world-class chemical dependency center.
What is a chemical dependency center?
Rehab.
Okay. That makes sense.
And then Homer takes the pamphlet. He's like, TV Town, Hammock Land. And Marge's like, ooh, recipe-related bumper cars. So thinking about this, it's really weird. Like, I was actually, me and my wife we took our kid to Disneyland for the first time for his birthday. And we almost did this in reverse. We were like, oh, here's all the things I could go on. Wait a minute. We got to find all the things Elliot could go on.
Yeah.
We did it like completely in reverse to make sure that going was worthwhile. Yeah. Not that I'm a big kid at heart, so I was going to go on that shit anyway. But it's just kind of funny to think about, like, going to Disney. And I'm like, well, what grown-up things are at Disney? And, I mean...
Is there anything? Well, I mean, there's, like, adult rides, but, like...
At the Disneyland side, not so much.
Okay.
On the Disney California Adventure side, definitely. Like
for parents?
Well, for older people. I mean, look, the Guardians of the Galaxy, the Spider-Man thing, I guess
Cars.
Well, that's more kids. I mean, that's the Pixar. That's more for kids. I guess really Marvel and I'd say Star Wars.
Oh, yeah, Galaxy's Edge.
How many kids under the age of 10 really know Star Wars? I mean, they probably know about it because their parents are Star Wars fans and talk about it. Like, my kid knows Baby Yoda, R2-D2, C-3PO, but he doesn't know the stories. He doesn't know what's behind it. Yeah. So that stuff's more, I would say, for grown-ups. Yeah. But you go to Universal Studios, and it's almost the exact opposite. You go to Universal Studios, that stuff's all adult and almost zero kid.
Yeah, there really isn't a whole lot at Universal. I mean, the only thing really for kids... And even this is a little bit maybe not for them is the studio tour. Yeah.
I mean, the only other thing I could think about is, they have the Despicable Me stuff now. They have Secret Life of Pets. And But see, even Harry Potter, that's still like 13 plus.
Yeah, Harry Potter is,
You're not taking any kid under the age of 10 to anything the Harry Potter stuff.
To be fair, if you're over the age of 40 and you're going on the, not the roller coaster, but the other Harry Potter ride, if you get easy motion sickness, I would recommend not doing it.
Yeah, because you sit basically a rocking chair and you fly over.
It's a fun, like, because me and me and two of my friends went on that ride. Our fourth had to sit out because he was too big for the chair. And we got off the ride. I was fine because I'm usually pretty good with not like spinny motion, but like regular motion. We got off the ride. My two friends were just like, we need to sit down for like 20 minutes because they were just so dizzy and like.
Yep. All right. So the kids cheer because they think they're going to Itchy and Scratchy Land. But Marge says, hold on. Every time we go on vacation, we all end up embarrassed.
She ends up embarrassed.
She ends up embarrassed. And they all get into a big fight and leave more miserable than when they got there. And Homer asks, when were you embarrassed? It's like, remember that time we went to Amish country? And then Homer's putting ice cream cones on an Amish guy's head. And he's like, see, Marge, no matter what you do, they can't get mad at you. And then a horse kicks him.
Hey, look, Marge, they're still not fighting back. Hee hee, I can be a jerk and no one can stop me.
Yeah. And a horse kicks him.
Oh, that's
was it
a
donkey?
It was a donkey. It was a donkey. Donkey like back kicks Homer.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gotta hurt.
Hey, donkeys don't have to be
Nope.
Amish.
Nope. I'm pretty sure though. I think if you're Amish, I think you're allowed to fight back for self-defense reasons.
I don't know.
So I feel like somebody could have punched Homer.
No, according to Weird Al, they can't fight back.
Oh, okay.
I take all my knowledge. Yes, I take all my knowledge from Weird Al songs.
That's not a bad place to go. So we cut back and Marge is like, what was even worse was their trip to Sandy Beach where Homer wore a shark fin to scare everyone. And this is a Jaws reference. You like get the Jaws theme playing over. And then I love how so Homer has the fin on the back. He pops up, everybody runs away. And he's like, haha, jerks or whatever. And then Bart swims by and he pops up because he's wearing a fin. And Homer freaks out. And he's like, Shark Boy. And he runs away. But it's Bart.
Oh, it's so good. I want to get my kid. My kid is definitely getting one of those fins.
Oh my god!
I'm totally gonna buy one for him.
Are you gonna buy one for yourself too, so you can be Shark Man, he can be Shark Boy?
Oh, that would be awesome. Good call.
And then you can get one for your wife, and she can be Shark.
Oh,
Woman.
She'll be like no, and then run away. So.
So now we get Marge explaining that she wants to have a good experience, and she's like, "All right, this year I want us to do things together as a family, and get lots of exercise outdoors." So we'll have a lot of wonderful memories of our vacation. And Bart's like, don't worry, Mom. We'll make you proud of us. And then we cut over to Homer, who started packing. He's like, lobster hat, fishnet Speedo Jr., wheelie shoes.
Homer could not. Okay, hold on. I've tried wearing those wheelie shoes. I can't do it. There's no way Homer can do it.
Yeah, I've never tried them. And invisible dog leash. Well, I packed.
Oh my god.
Usually when I pack for vacation, even if it's like a 5-day vacation, I normally won't bring a suitcase. I just pack a backpack. Like when I went to California, I packed 6 shirts, 2 shorts, some underwear, and it was good to go.
See, I like packing things to do in the hotel. So I'll have my Switch, my laptop, some books. Obviously when Elliot went, we brought a ton of his toys, and
yeah.
So I mean, I usually pack when I go on vacations pretty heavily, just because I know at night I'm gonna want to do stuff, and since I have a kid, we kind of have to be in the hotel anyway. So
see, when you spend 12 hours at Disneyland, you get back to your hotel, you're gonna just fall asleep.
I don't know.
Because that's what I did.
I guess I kind of crashed. I guess we kind of threw on some TV after Disney and crashed.
Yeah. So now we cut to the family getting ready to leave. And Marge is explaining to Abe about giving a bowl of kibble to Santa's little helper, and there's snowballs also there. My question is, why would you have a senile old man watch your pets when Flanders is right next door?
I don't know.
Like I know when you guys went to Disney, you had our mom and dad come up and pet sit.
See, I let a senile old man watch our pets.
And woman. God, thank God our parents don't listen to this. Hopefully, if they do, I'm just kidding. No, I mean, but here's the thing: it's cheaper for you to have mom and dad sit.
Oh, dude,
the pets,
dude, putting your pets in boarding is not cheap.
No, because
especially two pets.
Yeah, I mean, when growing up, we would do that with our dog, and I don't know how much mom and dad paid for a weekend just to board them up. But
usually, I mean, obviously inflation, but for us, it's close to like $350
for a week.
For a week.
Oof.
I mean, it's insane. On top of our vacation already, I have to give a vacation to our dog and cat.
Yeah, well, I mean, theoretically, you could have just left the cat at home and had a friend go over a couple days,
which we usually do. We definitely usually do that.
Yeah. So, Marge asks Abe if he wants her to write any of the information down, and Abe's like, "You don't have to. I'm not senile," which he is. Yep. But as the family drives off, Abe is like, "Who's Grandpa's little helper?" And then he looks down at the animals. Which one of you is the mailman? So, and when he says mailman, he means like the person who delivers your mail.
Yeah.
Because when I originally, as a kid, because this was in the back of the mind, when originally I saw this and he said mailman, I thought he meant which one of you is the male. Like, which one of you, because like, what? Which one of you is the kid brain? This was a kid brain moment. Why would he ask which one of them is the mailman?
Because he's a senile old man.
I know. And then I love how the animals just like side-eye each other like, we're going to die.
Yeah, how are we going to take care of ourselves?
Oh, God.
That's okay. They could probably just run away for a week to someone's house and be taken care of.
Yeah. So now we see Homer on the road with the kids driving. He's like, okay, guys, let's make a pact. This is going to be the best vacation ever. Or we'll all agree to disband and join other families. And all of them were like, agree. I don't think we've ever made that pact, but let's say in the back of, I think, both of our minds, that's crossed it a little bit.
See, Bart would go live with Milhouse. Yeah. Marge would go live with Jacques.
Maggie would live with Marge.
Yep. And Lisa would go with...
Flanders?
I don't know. Not Janie. I mean, maybe Allison now. They're kind of friends, right?
Yeah, but she doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, right.
So I love how they pass a highway sign that says freeway to some other state.
Yes.
Because obviously they don't want to give away like what state they're in.
Yes, and we'll soon learn as we go through this, where the hell the fuck are they?
Yeah. So Homer tells everyone to fasten their seatbelt. Because now they're on their way to Itchy and Scratchy Land, and they get on the on-ramp to the highway, and the highway's all backed up because apparently everybody's going to Itchy and Scratchy Land.
Either that or it's rush hour. And what is this, the first time we've ever seen a highway?
No, I think we saw the highway in Capital City.
Did we? But this
Dancing Homer.
But I think this is the first time we learned that the highway is actually right off of the Simpsons neighborhood. Because in the Canyonero episode, it's kind of the same thing. They take the Canyonero right off the highway right to the Simpson house. So we kind of learned this episode that the highway is right by the Simpsons house.
Yeah. So Homer's like, don't worry, kids. I have an ace up my sleeve. What's his ace up his sleeve? Honking his horn. Yeah, I don't think that's going to get a backed up highway to move any quicker.
I don't know. LA. Maybe they're in California.
Maybe. Well, it's funny. So when my friends and I were in LA for Disney Universal, they bitched about the traffic. Now, maybe because I wasn't the one driving, I was like, whatever, I'm on vacation.
You have to go to California knowing that's what it is. Like that's
exactly.
I've been to California so many times in my life.
Yeah.
I mean, it took 45 minutes to get from LAX to Hollywood.
Yeah.
And guess how many miles it is?
Like
11.
5? Oh.
11 miles.
Because like my two of my my three friends were like, oh, traffic was terrible, and maybe their expectations of what the traffic was going to be was lower.
Terrible and normal are two different things.
And I was like, were we like stopped here and there? Yes, but like I've driven through like Milwaukee rush hour is just as bad. I mean, it's not as, I mean, you're not stuck in Milwaukee rush hour for 5 hours.
Yeah.
Bad. But, you know, I've driven through it. It's not the greatest, but like they were bitching and moaning. And I like, maybe I set my expectations way too high of what the traffic jams were going to be. And they set theirs too low. I don't know. I thought it wasn't as bad as they made it out to be.
You have to plan it. So with LA, if you guys have never been, you have to plan ahead quite a bit.
Yeah. So now they're driving on the highway, and the kids see a billboard that says, next Flickies, 680 miles, which is like a little diner. And then we see another billboard that says 417 miles, and then 277, and then 42. And so there's a game I actually used to play with some friends when we would drive from Green Bay to Racine, because I had some friends who went to Green Bay with me that I met there who also lived in Racine. And anytime we passed a sign that had a mileage to our destination, somebody would yell out the mileage. It was to keep us entertained. I mean, it's a boring drive from Green Bay to Racine. And so Bart asks Homer if they can stop at Flickies, and Homer's like, no, because apparently he has to get to Itchy and Scratchy Land. And then they pass a billboard. So they pass by Flickies.
Yep.
And Bart's like, can we go to Flickies? And Homer's like, no. Which, I don't know why, because they got to be hungry at this point. Unless they packed road trip snacks, which always pack road trip snacks. Those are the best kind of snacks. And so after they pass the diner, they then pass a billboard that says, next Flickies, 25,000 miles.
Okay, so here's some fun facts for everyone.
Okay.
The length of the United States across is 2,800 miles. Okay? 2,800 miles. North to south, like if you're driving from Canada down to the farthest tip, which would be either Texas or Florida, either one, is 1,582 miles from north to south. Where the fuck are they, and where are they going? And how long have they been driving? Okay, so 680 miles. Okay, so if point A is where 680 miles starts, you're driving 10 hours if the speed, well, if it's 70 miles, let's say 6 to 8 hours, right?
Yeah. Well, okay. So the average speed limit is probably, well, I don't know. On the two major interstates here in Wisconsin, there's 70. So if they're going 75 miles an hour, it would take them approximately 9 hours from that point to get to Flickies.
Okay. And most cars, mind you, would have maximum about the Simpsons car probably only gets like 200 miles to the tank or some shit. Yeah. But a good car could probably get 350 to 400 miles before needing to fill
So
up.
assume they got to stop twice for gas.
Exactly, yeah.
To get to Flickies.
And not to eat? Like, God, there is no way I could drive 680 miles before.
Dude, I can barely drive the 290 miles from my house to your house and not stop to get something to eat.
I know. Oh my God, this is insane. I just want to know where the hell they started and where the hell they're going.
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, obviously they wind up somewhere in the Midwest because they're driving through freaking cornfields and stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. It's crazy. And so I love how, again, and this is a weird thing. Well, I guess it's a tollway. So they stop at a tollway, and it's a toll for fruit and it's a fruit and vegetable checkpoint, which in the continental United States, you can transport, I believe you can transport fruit and vegetables wherever you want.
Yeah, it's just out of country.
Yeah, it's just out of country. So I don't know.
I don't think Itchy and Scratchy. Well, okay. Remember, the next Flickies is 25,000 miles away. So
Did they start in like California, drive into fucking Canada, and then drive back into the United States?
I don't know.
I don't know. So Homer starts.
And just to let you know, the totality of Earth is only 7,900 miles. So unless the next Flickies is on the moon, I don't know where they're going to that next Flickies.
Oh God. Or maybe it's an animation error and it was supposed to say 2,500 miles.
Maybe. I mean, it's a funny joke. Don't get me wrong.
It's a great joke.
Don't get me wrong. 25,000 miles is a great joke. I laughed. I thought it was... But unless they go to the moon...
Yeah.
I mean, you could have said 5,000 miles. You definitely could have said something within the realm of reality.
Yeah.
But maybe the next Flickies is on the moon. I don't know.
So they stop at this fruit and vegetable checkpoint. Homer starts to freak out, and Marge is like, "What are you freaking out for?" He's like, "Marge, the trunk is full of fruits and vegetables." And he's like, he looks down. He has a pamphlet that says "Smuggled Vegetables: The EZ Road to Success?" ? Who is he smuggling fruits and vegetables for? Fat Tony?
Maybe.
Why is he? What?
Ooh, hold on a sec.
What?
This might be going into Mexico, but let me... Holy crap. Actually, The Simpsons aren't the only TV show to discuss taking fruits and vegetables across state lines.
Okay.
Frasier is another show that discussed checkpoints on state lines for fruit and vegetables.
So is it a real thing?
Yeah. In fact, the only state I've encountered with this was in California. Because its agriculture is a huge industry in California, and they want to protect against pests or diseases that could be brought from outside.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Wow.
So they're in California.
They made it all the way to maybe they're going to Itchy and Scratchy Lands in California. Then they're crossing California state line.
I guess. So they must have started. They had to start in like Maine. Is Maine the most like Maine? Do they like drive through fucking Canada? Is Flickies in Canada? And then they like jump down and like...
Hey, that does sound like a Canadian
it does. So there's a squeaky teenage voice kid at the checkpoint. And the kid asks Homer if he has any fruits or vegetables. And then Homer just freaks the hell out and then just drives through the checkpoint without stopping. And then the trunk, because their car's a piece of crap, like opens up and all these fruits and vegetables start coming out. And I was like... Oh my God. It is funny though. So this had me thinking. So for any of our listeners who are not from Wisconsin or like from like the Midwestern area, there is a brewery in Wisconsin called New Glarus. And they make their signature beer is Spotted Cow. It is illegal for any state other than Wisconsin to sell this beer.
Ooh, I wonder if there's a Spotted Cow speakeasy in other states.
So, funny enough, there is a bartender or a bar owner crossed Minnesota state line into Wisconsin, purchased some Spotted Cow, brought it back to Minnesota, and got caught selling it.
In his bar.
I don't know. In his bar. I don't know what happened to him. He probably got a huge fine. But, like, so, like, you know, crossing state lines to, like, bring other stuff in, like, I understand it.
Yeah. So apparently this is not the first time
yeah, because the kid's like, oh, Mr. Whatever, it happened again.
Oh my God. That's why you don't travel with fruits and vegetables across state lines, folks.
Nope.
Unless it's bananas. I don't know. Avocados. I can see avocados because those are hard to come by.
Yeah.
So Homer decides to, let's listen to the radio. Let's get some other world, information into our brain. And so they turn on the radio, and it's all about the 7 signs of evil, and the evil this, and the evil that.
Yeah, and he like switches like to 3 different radio stations. Yeah. They're like, and now the countdown to the 7 signs of evil.
So they're obviously going through the South now.
Yeah.
They're just, Homer's just either drunk or lost. Because they don't, remember, GPS didn't exist back then.
No.
So I'm guessing they either printed out MapQuest maps or Yahoo Maps and are getting completely lost.
I remember printing out the MapQuest maps.
Oh, yeah. And I got lost. Those things were horrible.
I never got lost using MapQuest.
Oh, I have.
Well, then you're not good at following directions.
No, the MapQuest didn't know what the hell they were talking about.
Sure.
Same with Yahoo.
Well, Yahoo is pretty bad. I was going to say Apple Maps was very bad at one point because it would drive people into bodies of water.
Yep. So the family stops at the Five Corners.
Yep.
Haven't we stayed in five states long enough?
No.
No. So this is a reference to the four corners of Utah, Colorado, Arizona, and New Mexico.
Yeah, I had to look this up on a map because I couldn't remember.
Yeah, so currently there are not 5 states that all border each other.
Nope.
So now they're in the ether somewhere.
Yeah. One of them is not on Earth anymore.
Yep. So now the kids, are starting to kind of be sleepy, and Marge yawns, and Homer's like, he's like, I'm not tired, where his eyes are just starting to drift. I mean, once again, how long have they been driving?
Well, it's always been daytime. We've never seen nighttime. I
mean, look, if they went 680 miles, it would have been nighttime at some point. That's 9 hours.
Well, yeah, 9 hours. Yeah. If you leave at 7:00 in the morning, and this is summer, so the sun would be out, that would get you to, so if you left at 7.
But was it summer? I thought we decided during episode 1, where it was the pool thing and it was already summer, that they were going to be more progressive.
But they haven't been.
No,
because we've had.
I guess the clip show really didn't count. But I thought maybe so Bart in Darkness was summer. Yeah. I felt like Lisa's rival was this is kind of got to be the first half of the beginning of that school year, because diorama drama.
Or maybe this is like a break, a school break.
Maybe.
Because it is a weekend vacation.
Yeah.
But it does seem like it's summer.
A weekend vacation. It's taking them 5 days just to get to Itchy and Scratchy Land.
But so even if you left at 8 o'clock in the morning, it would be 5 o'clock at night. So the sun would still be up.
Well, this I would think would have to be a cross country trek.
Well, obviously.
This has to be a cross country trek.
Yeah.
And why would they fly?
Because they're the Simpsons and they're poor.
I guess so. And so, Homer says he's not tired, and, Marge says, we should stop at a motel for the night. And then next we see a car that looks exactly like the Simpsons crash into a pole and explode. And then Homer, everyone's up in their motel room, and Bart's like, oh, I'm glad that wasn't us.
Yeah. Yeah, they did the whole fake out.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah.
I like that. That was great. Yeah. So now they're driving again next morning, must be. They're driving again, and Homer's like, nuts to this. I'm taking a shortcut. It's like, no, Homer, we're going to get lost. They're not already lost. Yeah. I have yet to see them pull out a map.
Yeah.
Homer says, it's okay, because with modern cars, you can't get lost because of the silicone chips and such.
So that's a really funny line from 18 years in the past, because we have a major chip shortage, which means cars can't be made.
Yep.
And also, I'm pretty sure those older cars, you could still get lost, because I don't think many cars from the early 90s had GPS tracking.
None of them did.
Yeah.
Well, Garmin's didn't even exist yet. You didn't even have Garmin's for your cars.
Yeah.
Nothing existed besides maps and printing stuff off the internet. That was literally it.
Yeah.
And so after the shortcut, the Simpsons family car has no roof. That's it. They go completely off road.
Yeah.
There's a missile labeled U.S. Army sticking out of it. So apparently they went through Area 51.
Yeah.
And there's a banner with the word homecoming hanging off the back.
So they drove through a homecoming dance that was held in a barn?
Maybe.
So they drove through cornfields?
Yep. One of the tires was replaced by a wagon wheel. My assumption is they stopped for gas or something. Someone stole their back wheel and they had to replace it with something.
Yeah.
And a pedestrian crossing sign is wrapped around the fender.
What incarnation?
And then I love the fact that they literally roll into Itchy and Scratchy Land after the shortcut. Because they're finally there.
Yeah.
And then Homer's like, let's never speak of the shortcut again.
I love this line because it's not the first time we'll hear this let's never speak of this again line.
Yep. And so Homer tells everyone to remember they're in the Itchy lot. And
I
this
love
is just like any parking lot ever. Like the Brewers parking lot. Remember, we're in lot number 2. And it's just a giant section of lot 2.
Well, I love the fact that like Homer's like, we're in the Itchy lot, and then they pan over to show the Scratchy lot. Like there was times when we went to Six Flags. I remember there was a couple instances where we couldn't find the car for a good 20 minutes.
Yep, because the lot that we were in was like 50 rows.
Yeah. I do like now. So I've gone to a few baseball games with our parents, and where they usually, when they get there, they try to get there early enough where they can park next to the road, like to the exit. And then there's just a row and you just look for the number and you already know where you are.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, no, parking's definitely gotten a little bit better than in the past.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, all right. So now we get another movie moment. We see the insignia on the helicopter. Look, it's Itchy inside of a red circle, kind of like the Jurassic Park logo.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool. I like seeing that. And so now they hop on this is where they hop on the helicopter that I mentioned at the very beginning of the episode. So it's a parking lot that takes you to a Boy, it must take a long time to get people over to.
Maybe that's why nobody wants to go to Itchy and Scratchy Land, and that's why they have to cut their prices in half.
I don't know how.
Because like maybe they showed it like an ad for Itchy and Scratchy Land to like test a test audience, and like the whole ad was like, oh, this is how you get to Itchy and Scratchy Land, and they're like, no, screw this, we're not going to go. And then like the week before they're going to open, they're like, well, we got to get people here somehow.
Yep. And so the pilot welcomes them to Itchy and Scratchy Land, where nothing can possibly go wrong. I mean, possibly go wrong. This is the first thing that's ever gone wrong.
I love how the Simpsons kind of look at each other. Yeah. I use that line almost every goddamn day of my life, and I love it.
Yep. And so now we see the chopper flying into the theme park, which is another reference to Jurassic Park.
Yep.
We get the grand opening.
Yep.
And they're at the ticket booths, which are bombs.
I love that touch. That's great.
It's good.
I like that.
But yeah, grand opening, man. First day of first weekend of the park. This can't be day 1, right?
It's grand opening.
Well, the grand opening weekend. I mean, have you ever been to a place that has a grand opening? That grand opening sign's on the freaking building for like a month.
That is true.
So I don't know if it's day 1 or not.
Yeah.
But so they're looking at a map of the park, and they're like, or no, sorry, that's not the map of the park yet. There's a sign above the bombs that say rides not operating today. The Head Basher, Bloodbath, Mangler, and Nurse's Station.
I love that last one. Oh my god, that's such a good joke.
Too many people got injured. They have to close the Nurse's Station.
Yeah.
Or is that actually a ride? Do you think it's the actual Nurse's Station, or is there a ride called the Nurse's Station?
I think it's the actual Nurse's Station.
Okay.
That's my thought process.
Yep. So Homer goes up to the ticket booth and buys his tickets. He says 1 adult and 4 children.
Is he including himself in the 4 children category?
No, I feel like this is a take on people that would do this going to Disneyland. Like one parent would walk up to the ticket booth and say, oh, 1 adult and 4 kids. But that's not where you enter the park. That's just where you...
But weren't they all in line together?
No, No. Homer just went up by himself to the ticket booth.
No, because when this next scene, when the ticket person asks him about purchasing Itchy and Scratchy money, Bart tells him to buy it.
Well, yeah, it's only Bart.
Okay.
So maybe Homer and Bart went up to the thing. But either way, Marge and Lisa and Maggie were nowhere in sight. Maybe. But that also leads me to believe how the hell people would know if you were to just go on to Disneyland.com and buy 1 adult and multiple kids passes. It's not like they ID you or check your tickets at the gate.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
Like, what's this? Like, to be fair, like, they always do this thing at restaurants where, you have to be 12 or younger to get a kid's meal.
Yeah.
Well, I always order my stuff ahead because Shay just wants a kid's meal because she's not hungry. Yeah. And so I'll order one grown-up adult and 2 kids meals. It's not like they check.
You gotta remember to get on it when Elliot's old enough, when it's like 12 or younger eats free and he's 13, to tell the nice man that he's 12.
Oh, dude, Elliot was free to get into baseball and hockey games until he was like 4. We pretty much had to stop it when he was 4 because they weren't going to believe that he was under 2 anymore. Yeah. So, but no, I think Homer, I don't know if people used to do this in the past. If you guys know, or if you had parents that were like, yeah, there was only one adult, the rest of us are children. I just don't know how they would check.
Yeah.
And especially in the 90s when everything was actually physical tickets.
Yeah.
Like, they're just scanning the barcode. There's no technology to tell whether the tickets.
Well, even if they have like a sale for like a sporting event for tickets, most of those are just on your phone. So like if you bought like a child, like kids get in for half price, like how do you prove online that you actually have a kid?
Exactly. No, that's exactly my point. Right. And even like this day and age, since everything's online, you could buy senior citizen tickets. It's not like they're going to check you at the gate.
Like the only places that they would really check you for like senior citizen or military discount are like retail stores.
No, I get that. But like if you're buying any form of tickets, it's not printed on the ticket.
No, I know.
So I just don't know how anyone these days would even know.
Yeah.
I'm just going to buy 4 kids tickets.
Yeah.
So the ticket person asked Homer if they like to purchase Itchy and Scratchy money. And this has to be I think they had Disney bucks back in the day, didn't they?
You might be right.
I feel like
this is definitely based on theme park cash.
Yep. And she's like, "Oh, it's fun." I was like, "Oh, if it's fun." And he's like, $1,100, please. Because it's fun. And they go into the park and nowhere accepts Itchy and Scratchy money.
So here's my problem with this is that there is no way that any theme park, obviously it's a joke and I get the joke, but like no theme park is gonna be like, here, get our theme park money, knowing full well nobody inside takes it.
Yeah, that'd
that's a scam, and I'm pretty sure that would be grounds to sue.
Ooh, actually, so Disney dollars are actually highly collectible. As Disney stopped printing the money, the dollars have now become very valuable. Certain prints and series are worth more based on rarity.
Interesting.
The Disney $5 Mickey Mouse bill from the 1980s is a rare item, for instance, and will sell for far more than $5.
What, 20?
I guess, but it doesn't seem like Disney dollars are a thing anymore. I mean,
no, they're not.
At this point, it'd be kind of dumb to do that. Yeah. But yeah, I knew it was a real thing. Yeah. And so yeah, bills are redeemable for goods and services at Disney theme parks and Disney cruise ships.
Yeah. So now it's lunchtime, and they go get food at Tavern on the Scream, which is a reference to Tavern on the Green in New York Central Park. Although I don't think they have to run through a mouse trying to chop you up getting into the restaurant.
You want to hear one more fun fact?
Sure.
The Disney bucks actually had microchipping in them.
Weird.
For counterfeit. There was Disney dollars were created with anti-counterfeiting features such as microprinting and reflective ink and imprinting on the front and back of the bill.
Wow.
And yes, Disney bucks and currency stopped being in production May 14th of 2016.
Oh, so only 6 years ago?
Yep.
Wow.
But if you still have them, they are still accepted.
So yeah, they go to Tavern on the Scream, and they all run through the big chopping knife. Marge's like, I don't like all this violence. And Bart's like, it's just fake violence. It's beneficial for children. And I love how Bart kicks Lisa, who then turns around and punches Bart. And then I love how they pan up to Marge, who's like, but like Maggie's got like the boxer stance going on in Marge's arm. Oh yeah, I love that. I love that little touch. It's a great touch. And so, Marge is annoyed by it. And a park spokesman comes from out of nowhere.
Yep.
And he goes, "There's no need to murmur, ma'am. Here at Itchy and Scratchy Land, we're just as concerned about violence as you are. That's why we're always careful to show the consequences of deadly mayhem so that we may educate as well as horrify." Marge's like, "When do you show the consequences? On TV, that mouse pulled out that cat's lungs and played them like a bagpipe. But in the next scene, the cat was breathing comfortably." And the park salesman's, "Just like in real life."
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
Oh, and then I love how the spokesman's like, "Hey, look over there." And like, they all look and he runs away. Oh, that's great. So now we get the family ordering food at Tavern on the Screen. And Bart's like, "I'll have a brain burger with extra pus, please." Marge's like, "Bart." And Homer's like, "Eyeball stew." Marge's like, "Homer, we just got here and I'm already mortified beyond belief by your embarrassing behavior." And Bart goes, "Oh, I was just ordering a cheeseburger, Mom. They have violent names for everything here." And Marge is like, "Oh, I see. All right. I'll have the baby guts." And I love the waiter, "Lady, you disgust me." Oh. And Lisa's like, "Mom, that's veal."
Why would that even be on the menu?
Especially if it's like I love veal, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Veal's amazing. I don't care that it's baby cow. I'll eat the shit out of that.
Oh, I like baby cow and big cow. I like all forms of cow. I'm not discrimination about the age of cows. But if the waiter doesn't even like it, why the hell is it even on the menu?
Yeah, that was a really weird
And Lisa's not even a vegetarian yet. Like if
Yeah.
Lisa was a vegetarian, I think it would have been better.
Yeah.
But she's not even a vegetarian yet.
No.
Like, it would have been better. Okay, baby guts, I would have equated. I think there's another Simpson episode. Oh, no, that was the Barnacle Bills episode. Homer's Night Out, where she ordered something and it was eel, right? Or octopus or something.
Well, Bart ordered octopus.
That was Bart. You're right, Eric.
Yeah.
That was Bart that ordered that. So I thought, okay, if it was going to be disgusting, I think if baby guts would have been more like eel or squid, octopus, something of that nature, not veal.
Yeah, that's the joke, but it's not a great joke.
No.
So then they take Maggie to the child care center, and Marge asks the worker if Maggie will have fun, and the worker's like, "Oh yeah, the babies love the ballroom," and so she puts Maggie into the ball pit, and she just sinks towards the bottom. And then, like, she ends up on the outside up against the glass, and we see all these other babies.
That's a very deep, unsafe ball pit.
Very much so.
I like a good ball pit as the next person.
Yeah.
But even that, I wouldn't even want to be dude. If I would not go into a ball pit if my foot could not touch the bottom of the ball pit.
Yeah. So now they're looking at a map of Itchy and Scratchy Land, and we see Torture Land, Explosion Land, Searing Gas Pain Land, and Unnecessary Surgery Land.
And if you guys don't know, Itchy ties up Scratchy and feeds him chili in the illustration for Searing Gas Pain Land.
Yes.
So it makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah. And so Homer's like, "Oh, look, it's the 12 noon robot parade. Hurry up, or we'll have to wait for the 12:05 parade." And I think that's a parody of the Disneyland, isn't it? Disney World,
but
parade.
they didn't come by that quickly.
No.
Usually the
Well,
parades
that's
are
the
every
joke.
like half hour, hour. But have you ever had those friends that say 12 noon? I hate those people.
I don't think I've ever heard anybody use the words 12 noon.
Oh, I have. Besides,
Yeah. Well, you would either just say noon or 12 p.m.
I know, but I've actually heard people say 12 noon. And I'm like, no, just say one or the other, damn it.
What do you say, 12 midnight?
Okay, good call. Next time someone says that, I'm asking if they say 12 midnight.
So now we see the parade, and we get walking bombs and sticks of TNT, and there's also a little baby. Oh no, we'll get to that in a second. As well as robotic Itchies and Scratchies, who there's two that shoot each other with like mini machine guns, and they hit and also ones that hit each other with mallets. And when that happens, like blood squirts out of him onto the crowd, and the crowd is like, "Yay!" Because it's squirty.
Yep.
It's fun. And Bart's like, "This parade is so much like my dreams. It's scary." This is the dreams of his parade of his dreams.
Yeah,
it is a little scary. And so I love this part. So there's a Itchy mascot driving a steamroller with a I guess like a, what do you call it, like a sticker of Scratchy on the roller.
Yep, that was good. That's a good touch. I like that.
I like that. And then we get animatronic axes that are like walking because they're robots. And there's a little baby axe.
It's so cute.
Yeah, it's cute, but it also is probably very sharp and dirty. And the park spokesperson appears out of nowhere again to tell Marge that the axe, yes, is probably dirty, but it's not dangerous because the robots are programmed to attack each other and never the guests. And so we get an Itchy that looks at a Scratchy and identifies it as Scratchy, and its objective is to kill it. And then it turns its head and scans the Simpsons and identifies them as humans and not to hurt. And I like the little display screens you see through the robots, kind of like Terminator-esque.
Yep.
Which is a nice touch. I like that. And so so after the Itchy identifies the Simpsons as humans, it takes off its hat, like the top of its head, to show all the circuitry. And Marge points it out to Homer and is like, "See, Homer, that's why your robots never worked."
Oh my God, that was so good. Oh, that's great. Oh, I love that. And
Yeah.
so now they go on their first ride. They've been here for how long? They had lunch. They haven't been on a ride yet?
I mean, maybe they got there at like 11.
God only knows how long that shortcut took.
Yeah.
So they go on a log ride, which starts out, oh, so nice, and then drops down a giant hill as they are shot at by arrows and cannons, and they just stop short of getting their eyes poked out by spikes. Now, I would hate to have been Marge sitting in the front and not Lisa, because the spikes definitely would have. Maybe you have to sit shortest to tallest. Like that's one of the stipulations for riding.
But here's the weird thing: is Marge and Homer are sitting in the same seat.
No, they're just doubled up, kind of like Bart and Lisa are kind of sitting in each other's laps.
No, I thought Bart and Lisa had their own seats, and Marge and Homer were sitting in the same spot. Although looking at the picture, it looks like they all have different seats. So I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe the animation's just weird.
Yeah, and so then they go down another water slide thing, and you see the log getting sawed in half, and then they just land on mattress pads just happen to be lying right below the.
Well, yeah, that's the point. The log gets sawed in half. You jump off onto mattresses to save yourself.
Apparently, that definitely does not seem like a safe ride.
No.
And as much of a non-safe ride as it is, Marge and Homer suggest that they, separating. They go to Parents Island, and then they'll say to the kids, "Oh, we'll meet up later." And then you see Bart and Lisa in the background back on the log ride again.
Well, they enjoyed it.
Yep. I mean, how many logs do you think this ride goes through in a day?
I mean, maybe it's not really getting sawed, and like what happens is the bottom kind of has like latches on it, and it just pulls apart.
Okay. All right. And it puts back together when it's done. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So it's not really getting sawed in half.
I don't think so.
I think it would cost too much to keep replacing all these logs.
Yes.
The place would not be able to stay in business.
No.
And so now Marge and Homer go to Parents Island, and they go to Itchy's 70s Disco, which was established in 1980. But isn't this brand new? Wouldn't it have been established in 1994?
I mean, maybe there is an Itchy 70s disco like bar, and they migrated it onto the island.
Maybe. And so Marge points out that the bartender looks. So they're like, "Oh, this looks great," because Homer's like, "Oh my God, it is the 70s, right down to what was it, the lights or something?"
Yeah.
And Marge's like, "Oh, even the bartender looks like John Travolta." Yeah, looks like.
which is implying the fact that he is actually John Travolta.
Oh, that's good. I like that. I mean, John Travolta really didn't do much after Grease.
Saturday Night Fever.
Was that was that after or before Grease?
I'm pretty
I don't
sure
know the order of it.
I'm pretty sure that was after Grease.
Okay, so he did that, and then he did Face Off, and then not much. Wasn't he in The Punisher?
He was. I don't think he was in The Punisher.
Wasn't he in The Punisher? Maybe it wasn't John Travolta. I thought it was John Travolta in The Punisher.
Apparently, he also did some music stuff. Oh, that's from. Never mind. That's from Grease. Oh, he did hair. Well, oh, he's on some albums because he did some, singing because he was in Grease and a couple other musicals. He was also in Carrie.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, you are right. Saturday Night Fever came out the year before Grease.
Yep, that's what I thought.
He did Staying Alive, which I believe was a sequel, wasn't it?
I have no idea.
His next big thing was Look Who's Talking in 1989. So yeah, he kind of went.
So after so after that,
he went like 11 years until he started, picking up again. God, he did 3 Look Who's Talking movies.
Yep.
God, and then he went on a good run though. He had Pulp Fiction, Get Shorty, Mad City, Face Off, the Thin Red Line. Yeah, he's been in a lot of stuff. But yeah, from Grease until what did I say? Look Who's Talking. I mean, he was in movies. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think they were as big. Like, have you ever heard of Moment by Moment?
No.
Urban Cowboy?
No.
Blowout.
Okay, let's keep going. All right, so Bart and Lisa wind up at the gift shop, and amazing.
Oh, yes.
Bart's like, cool, personalized plates. Barkley, Barry, Bort. Oh, come on, Bort. And then a kid comes running up and he's like, oh, mommy, can I get a license plate? Or buy me a license plate. No, come along, Bort. And then a man standing nearby looks at her. Were you talking to me? No, my son is also named Bort.
Oh, God, I love it. Yeah, so when I was in LA, my friends and I stopped at this car museum, and they had a little gift shop, and they sold license plates for, I think there's a Back to the Future one, an Ecto 1, and a Bort license plate, which I bought for Steve.
Yep. Now, did you happen to go in the gift shop in Simpsons Land at Universal? Or did you kind of stay away from that?
I stayed away from that.
Okay, I was just wondering if they had Bort license. I'm sure they had to have Bort license plates there too.
I mean, they really didn't. I'm trying to remember Universal. Like, they had a couple shops in Universal, but nothing like gift shoppy. Like, they had a Quickie Mart.
Yeah, I thought the Quickie Mart was a gift shop because I remember buying things in there.
Yeah, I don't really remember seeing like a gift shop.
I wonder if see what would have been funny is if you go into that gift shop and to see if they have Bart license plates.
It'd be funny if they didn't. If they had like a spot, like if they had a spot for it, but never actually sold Bart license plates.
That would be great. That'd be a great touch. I'd like that.
Yeah.
And so, Lisa's looking at the stuffed animals because obviously all amusement parks have the stuffed animals for characters. And she's like, Who are these characters? Well, you're probably too young to remember the short-lived Itchy and Scratchy and Friends hour. They had to come up with some friends. There's Disgruntled Goat, Uncle Ant, Ku Klux Klam.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah. They weren't very funny. I don't know. Disgruntled Goat had his moments.
Funko, if you're listening, I need these pops minus Ku Klux Klam.
No. All of them need to be made.
No.
Yes, all of them need to be made. It'd be funny if you didn't have the entire collection. So now we see an Itchy mascot interrupting them to dance for them because apparently that's what mascots do.
Yeah, I don't know.
And Bart just stomps on his foot. He's like, huh! And then the kids run away.
Yeah.
And so now we head over to TGI McScratchy's Good Time Food Drinkery. Where it's always New Year's Eve.
Now, is the name of the place a reference to TGI Fridays? Because I feel like it is.
Yeah, I would say it is. And so Marge mentions to the waiter who brings them champagne that it must be nice to ring in the new year over and over and over. And the waiter's like, kill me.
Yeah, I could see how that would get super annoying if you worked at like a themed restaurant like that, where it's like always the same thing over and over again.
Yep.
Like I couldn't imagine working there longer than like a month.
Yep. And so now Bart and Lisa go to another, not a ride, but I don't even know.
Attraction.
It's Laramie Cigarettes presents Itchy's Minefield. And it's kind of like, I would imagine the explosions aren't real. It's just sound effects. And they're like trampolines that bounce them from place to place. Yeah. And then now we see Scratchy waving at the kid, waving goodbye. And Bart goes back to kick it on his way out of the ride.
It's just, you can't resist.
I know. And so now the baby's in the ball pit. We come back to Maggie. We haven't seen a lot of Maggie. Come back to Maggie and all the babies, and they're starting to, be able to claw their way out of the ball pit. And the workers are like, oh no, the babies are looking bored. All right, let's add more balls. And they add more balls and fill them back in.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, that's just mean.
Yeah.
And so now we get the Roger Myers story. And so Bart and Lisa are watching a movie about Roger Myers Sr., who cared about almost all the people, and people cared about him, except in 1938.
So this is a very, I really like this tidbit that they threw in here, because as everybody knows, Walt Disney was not a good person. Let's just put it that. And so Walt Disney was alleged to be anti-Semitic, and the Roger Myers Sr. creation is a spoof of Walt Disney. And Roger Myers Sr. created a controversial cartoon called Nazi Supermen Are Our Superiors.
Oh my god.
And so despite censorship of Disney cartoons in Nazi Germany, Disney's brother Roy was acknowledged to have visited Nazi Germany in 1938, and during that time he gave the Germany Ministry of Propaganda a copy of Walt's 1937 cartoon movie Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, which was acknowledged to have been shown to a private audience of high-ranking Nazi officials at Hitler's private movie theater in Salzburg. I almost butchered that name.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm glad they kind of touched on that. I do find it hilarious now that they're owned by Disney.
Yep.
Because this is a super dig at Walt Disney and his... he was kind of a dick.
Yep. No, anything that reiterates how Fox now owns Disney, or
other
Disney
way
owns
around.
Fox, that all the stuff from earlier seasons really is kicking them in the ass.
I don't care. It's hilarious.
Yep. So now we see that the proudest achievement was a full-length film titled Scratchtasia, which is an awesome reference to the Sorcerer's Apprentice segment of the Disney film Fantasia. And so we see Scratchy chopping up a bunch of Itchies who are trying to kill him with axes. And then they kind of materialize into more Itchies, just like the brooms do in the Sorcerer's Apprentice. Yeah. And then Scratchy grabs another axe and chops them into like dust.
Dust, yeah.
And then he breathes really heavily and absorbs all the dust into his lungs. Then the dust turns into very miniature Itchies, and they chop his insides up, and then he ages and falls to
rapidly.
Dust.
Yeah.
Yep. That was pretty good.
Yeah, pretty much a lot of those shots and the music are exact parodies of the film.
Yep. And so I like how Cletus had money apparently to go to the park. Now he doesn't have any kids with him, at least that we can see.
No.
And he's at the park and he's taking pictures of the robots, and the flash causes the robot to malfunction. And we see the park, that park spokesman guy is just everywhere. Wherever you need him to be, that's where he's at. Yeah. He's like, no flash photography, please.
Yeah. We see the nurse's station behind Cletus, and also a penny arcade. All games 75 cents.
Although
those were the days.
Yep. And funny enough, I didn't see a sign on the nurse's station saying that it was closed.
I mean, maybe it was just closed. And so then we cut back to Bart and Lisa watching the Roger Myers movie, and his next successful movie was Pinocchio, which is a reference to Pinocchio, and Pinocchio is like
Pinocchio.
You're gonna be a real boy. He's like, don't worry, I'll never hurt you. And that's a lie, and he hurts Itchy. He hurts, what's the, Geppetto Scratchy.
Yep.
And stabs him through the eye with his elongated nose that he lied.
Yep, that was great.
And then Lisa wonders if this kind of violence has desensitized them, and the malfunctioning robot from earlier when Cletus used the flash on it just crashes through the screen, and then and Bart and Lisa just kind of look at it and they're like, eh. Yep. And yes, they've been desensitized to violence,
as we all have been.
Yeah. All right.
I hate for the new. I really, really don't like the new generation of where they're. I mean, maybe they'll be desensitized to violence. I don't know, but as us growing up, I can watch a horror movie. I can watch pretty much anything now and be like, whatever.
Yeah. So they walk outside and they're like, "Oh, let's go get ice cream." I think that's what they said.
Yep.
And Bart and Lisa walk outside, and across the street, Bart sees Itchy, who's dancing. Oh, so you're a ladies' man, huh? And Lisa's like, Bart, don't do it. And so Bart pulls out his slingshot, and he opens up, I guess he's wearing a jacket, and he's wearing a fanny pack that says Little Bastard Traveling Kit. They really need to bring that back.
Yeah.
The Little Bastard line kits. And so Bart takes out a stink bomb and slingshots it into the opening of the Itchy mascot's costume. And Lisa at this time must have run away so she didn't get caught with Bart. Yep. Bart's like, I can do whatever I want and I'll never get caught. And then security comes up behind him and catches him. Yep. Which they kind of remind me of the First Order in Star Wars a little bit.
Oh, I mentioned it actually a little bit later down when they bring Homer into the thing, that they kind of look like they're wearing Nazi uniforms.
That too, yes. So Bart's caught by security. And we see security take Bart into an underground bunker. And in the underground control room, technicians monitor activities in the park. And Technician 1 goes, Mop and Bucket Man to the exit of the nauseator. Technician 2 says, we have another jumper on the roof of TGI McScratchy's.
Now
that's got to be the waiter.
The waiter, yeah.
I think it's the waiter. And the third technician is like, we need more Bort license plates in the gift shop. I repeat, we are sold out of Bort license plates. I love it. I love that gag so much.
Well, the problem, I mean, obviously the gag's great for two reasons. One, obviously Bart doesn't get one. But two, all the popular names always were out. That's why I never had a license plate, because Steven, and I don't know if you ever wanted one, but I always wanted one.
I probably always wanted one, but I don't think I ever asked for one. I might have had a Robert keychain, but I recently learned that sometime in I think it was the mid 70s, that my name was actually the #1 name of most popular names.
Nice.
And then it was probably only for that year, because I've never met another Robert that's my age. I mean, I've met I've met people who legal name is probably Robert, but they go by Rob or Robbie or Bob. And so they drive past the robot repair room, and the scientists are taking off the face of one of the robots, and it screams a little bit. It's like, I wish they wouldn't scream.
Yeah.
That's great. So now we see Bart is thrown into the detention area where Homer also is. And Homer's like, I'm here for kicking an Itchy character in the butt. And Bart's like, yeah, there's no way to resist it.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're right. Yeah, their uniforms kind of look like Nazi uniforms. And they kind of speak German a little bit.
Yep.
Like they have the German accent.
Yep.
So that's probably a dig also at Walt Disney. So now we see Marge is in the gift shop. She's like, I want all 5 t-shirts to say best vacation ever. PA announcer goes, attention, Marge Simpson, your son has been arrested. And all the crowd gasps. And one of the shoppers like, I'd be terribly embarrassed if I were that boy's mother. And Marge she's embarrassed now. And the PA announcer's like, attention, Marge Simpson, we've also arrested your older, bolder, fatter son.
Oh my God.
Oh, that is great. So then the guards escort Marge into the holding cell to see Homer and Bart, which is where you can kind of see their uniforms are a little bit more Nazi-esque. And Marge is like, I'm so embarrassed. I wish there was a hole I could just crawl into and die. And the guards grab her, throw her in the hole. Okay, throw her in the hole. Marge's like, no. Oh, please. It was just a figure of speech, which it is. I've said that. I mean, we've probably all said that multiple times throughout our lives.
Yeah.
I wish there was a hole I could just crawl into and die. And so now we cut back to the robot lab, and Professor Frink tries to warn the other scientists about, the robots, he says, you've got to listen to me. Elementary chaos theory tells us that all robots will eventually turn against their masters and run amok in an orgy of blood and kicking and the biting with the metal teeth and the hurting and the shoving. And Frank's comment there about chaos theory and the insignia on the park choppers, which we already mentioned, are a reference to Jurassic Park.
Well, to be even more, Dr. Ian Malcolm was the one talking about chaos theory.
Okay.
In the Jeeps. Driving the kids around when they hit the T-Rex area, and that's why Jurassic Park wasn't going to hold up, because chaos theory basically said eventually shit's going to go wrong. Yeah. And as we all learned in Jurassic Park, shit went wrong.
See, they thought about if they could do it. They didn't think if they should do it.
That's right.
And so one scientist asked Frank, how long do they have? And Frank's like, by my calculations, we have about 24 hours. And then immediately the robots turn on them. And Frank's like, oh, I forgot to carry the one.
Although
so what, 24 seconds?
Yep. I thought he said, I forgot to carry the Y or something.
I thought he said one.
I didn't want to do I figured you were close enough. I didn't want to do closed captioning again.
Yeah.
And so, Marge and the kids, they're walking away with Homer. He's like, I have nothing to say to you. But Marge, I was a political prisoner. How are you a political prisoner? I kicked a giant mouse in the butt. Do I have to draw you a diagram?
So is he saying it's his free speech rights to kick a mouse in the butt?
Damn straight.
No.
Yeah. And so all of a sudden we see electricity go out in the park, kind of like in Jurassic Park when the T-Rex goes through the fence. Yeah. And all the power goes out in the park. Well, that was actually more due to a storm, I guess.
Yeah, I think the storm knocked that out. Yeah.
Yep. And Marge wonders, what's going on? And so we see all the robots marching in the street. And they all walking towards the Simpsons and Homer. Where did everyone else go?
I mean, maybe the park closed.
Yeah. And they were the last people in?
Or, no, I think they were evacuating people. I think like as soon as... So I think maybe it took them a while to get from the underground parking or underground detention center, and like the robots turned, so they like warned everybody, because remember later on they try to get on the chopper. I guess it was
like the last helicopter out. But so they're gone. Everyone else is just gone, and they're just roaming around in the streets. Yeah. And the Simpsons, are there, and Homer's like, "Oh, one of these robots is coming on to me." And he's like, I don't think the robot wants you to be his friend. And Itchy starts swinging an axe at Homer. Oh, my God. He's like, my hair. You chopped off my hair. Oh, God, I'm ugly. Oh, my God. That's
because he's like, oh, I think this one's coming on to me. And you see him swinging the axe, and Homer keeps ducking.
Yep.
And like, and then
explaining what's going on.
Yeah.
Yep. And chops off his hair. That was great. Yeah. And then Marge, as they're running away, Marge's like, I knew we should have gone to the bird sanctuary. And we cut to the bird sanctuary, where the birds are attacking all the humans, just like in the movie The Birds.
Yep.
And so we get another movie moment from Birds. And also this is a very, very huge meme moment. Hans Moleman's on the phone. And he's like, I need the most, what was it? The
biggest
birdhouse you have.
No, bag of birdseed.
Oh, I need the
like bird belt. Like it was like a belt for birdseed, and then he's like, "That's too big."
That's too big. So this meme is great. Every time they're like, "Oh, can I get the saddest scene?" And then they show like Free Willy or something.
Oh,
You're
God.
like, no, that's too sad. No, this is like huge. Like anything you could think of where you're like, give me the biggest or give me the saddest or give me the loudest, whatever it is, it's probably been turned into this Hans Mole Man meme.
Oh, God. Yeah, I love it because, well, like the movie movement is he's in a phone booth when he's getting attacked by the birds.
By the birds, yep. Yeah. And so the Simpsons, spot the chopper.
Yeah.
And they're about to get on when the guy is, hey, you're the guys who didn't like our capering. When you get to hell, tell him Itchy sent ya. And he kicks him off the chopper.
Yeah.
Yep. And so now they're all doomed.
Yeah.
And Homer's like, back you robots. Nobody ruins my family vacation but me. And maybe the boy. And so Homer starts throwing stuff at the robots, including spare change, a banana, his underwear, just rips them right out.
Oh, God, how grody are those underwear?
Yep. And then Homer throws the camera, and it hits the ground, and the flash goes off, causing some of the robots to malfunction.
Yep.
And, Lisa tells Homer the flash must have scrambled the robot circuits. And Homer asks if she's you're the narrator? It's like Lisa just yells. It's like, oh, just keep taking pictures.
Oh, my God, I love that. Because, that's what you'd see in a movie.
Yep.
Like the
in a
narrator.
horror movie or an action movie. Yep.
Yeah. So then Bart picks up a mallet from somewhere and smashes a window that has like cameras in the window to grab more. And then he smashes another window.
Smashy.
Because he's Bart. And Bart's just like, I don't know if I approve of that. And so now the Simpsons fight back by using the cameras, the flashes on all the cameras. And Bart tells a mouse in a Schwarzenegger voice, hey, mouse, say cheese. And Bart's like, with a dry, cool wit like that, I could be an action hero, which I believe is also kind of another reference to Last Action Hero.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah. So, now you see a pile of robots. Simpsons have defeated them all. And Homer climbs out of a pile of them, yelling at them to die. And Homer's like, he tries to say the same line that Bart just said.
Yeah.
And Bart, interrupts him to say, wow, we really came together as a family.
Yep.
And Homer's like, what the hell? And Bart and Lisa declare that this is the best vacation ever. And Marge's just like, what are you talking about? She's like, you guys are bonkers. We almost got killed. Not to mention all the embarrassment I suffered.
Yeah.
And Lisa's like, well, Mom, it's exactly what you wanted in a vacation. Because it brought them closer together. They got a lot of good exercise outdoors. And now we have so many memories. And Marge is like, well, yeah, I guess you're right. It was the best vacation ever. Now let's never speak of it again.
Yep.
Oh, that's a great line. So now we see Roger Myers Jr. has come to apologize to the Simpsons.
Just the Simpsons or everyone?
No, it's just the Simpsons there. And so he goes, as Roger Myers Jr., the owner of the park, I'd like to thank you for stopping the killer robots. And to show my appreciation, here are 2 free passes. Homer's like, but there are 5 of us. And Myers like, have 2 free passes. That's better.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. God, Homer. He's so bad at negotiating.
Yep.
And so, Frank is looking at a dead robot, and he's like, man, I can't imagine what's happening at Euro Itchy and Scratchy Land. And so we cut to Euro Itchy and Scratchy Land, and there's literally nobody there except for a ticket taker. And Euro Itchy and Scratchy Land is a parody of Disneyland Paris, which at the time was a failing theme park known as Euro Disney.
Yep.
Yeah, because nobody wanted Disney in Paris. France? Why are you going to France?
Yeah. I mean, I guess
the French hate everything.
Yeah. Now, I guess, have you ever been to a theme park where something was done horribly wrong to you and they gave you free passes?
Not that I can think of.
No. I know one of my friends was at Six Flags when a roller coaster got stuck upside down with them on it, and they got like free passes for life.
Oh, nice.
But nothing like that ever happens to me.
Which is weird because you have all the good luck.
I don't know if that's considered good luck or not.
Oh, when my friends and I were at, was it Universal? I can't remember if it was Universal or Disneyland. There was a roller coaster we were going to go on, and it got stuck upside down. Like right when we got there, because like they were going through a ride and it got stuck upside down.
Huh.
So we got spared from going on it, which is good, I guess, because then we didn't get stuck upside down. So at Euro Itchy and Scratchy Land, there's one French ticket operator who's talking to no one, and he's like, "I need the money."
Well, he's talking to himself.
Yeah, he's talking to himself. He's like, my last paycheck bounced, and my children need wine. Oh God, yeah. There's I love how like they have a sign in French that says like what rides are out of order that day.
Yeah, all of them.
That was a
None
great touch.
I feel like
None
they
of
should
them.
all be in order if no one's riding them.
Great. So now we go back to the Simpsons house where Bart and Lisa are laughing at an Itchy and Scratchy cartoon, and Marge is like, "Well, I hope you realize that when violence happens to them, it's not as funny as what they see on TV." And Bart is like, "It would be funny to someone who is watching us." Wink, wink, nod, nod. And Marge is like, and Lisa says that Bart is right and throws her shoe at Bart, and Marge laughs at it. And Marge is like, ha, ha, ha. Wait, I'm laughing. Lisa, go to your room.
Nice.
And that is the end of our episode.
God, I love this episode. Definitely a 5 for me. Everything's coming up Millhouse. I mean, really the only thing that if I could have a distaste for anything this episode was just the getting there part. Like, it kind of irks me that they drove for thousands of miles.
But that's the joke.
I mean, maybe if it was, okay, look, I think I would have liked it more if it had some take on the Chevy Chase vacation movie. Like, if there were small things that happened on the way to, like, they went to Wally World and antics happened. Like, if there were small things that happened to The Simpsons on the way to Itchy and Scratchy Land, just like that movie, I think I would have liked it more than what they did. But the Flickies thing, I don't know. Like, that, of everything in this episode, that's the only thing that kind of irked me. Other than that, from front to back, amazing. I love the parody to Disneyland with Itchy and Scratchy. I mean, obviously it was random grand opening weekend, but that being said, it was still good. I wish The Simpsons would take another vacation back there, but unfortunately I don't think they ever do.
Well, the park is probably closed because, murderous robots.
Oh, they can't have a part 2 like the Lost World Jurassic Park where the robots are running amok on the island and...
No, they killed all the robots.
Oh, did they? Well,
Yeah.
then why can't they reopen if they killed all the robots?
Because they're going to make new robots.
Oh, and then those robots will attack all the people?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought maybe Frink would figure that out and make
it's
non-planet
chaos
robots.
theory.
Oh.
Chaos theory.
Or maybe everyone's animatronic. Or not animatronic. Maybe everyone's mascotted, and that way no one could kill anyone.
Yeah, because mascots can't get, pushed around too much to the point that they're going to murder guests.
Nope, they just throw them in a bunker.
Yeah, I really love this episode. It's a 5 for me as well. Everything's coming up Millhouse. I say nothing can possibly go wrong almost on a daily basis, because that's the one line that's always stuck with me through any Simpsons episode.
Yep.
I don't know why, but it does. The movie references are great. I love the fact that they make fun of, Disney and Walt Disneyland, or Disneyland and World and Walt Disney, and they call him out for being a Nazi, and that's great. I don't have the same qualm with you as the road trip to get there, because that's what it is. It's a road trip. They over-exaggerate it for comedic effect.
I know, but...
I get that, man. I've taken plenty of, I drove down to Florida 3 straight years for cruises. I get it. You want to take a shortcut. You want to stop for food, and you don't stop for food. I liked it. This is a great episode. My only lingering question is what happened to Santa's little helper and Snowball?
Well, no, they obviously survived. I feel like we would have gotten back to the Simpsons house and they would have been dead. Surprising Grandpa wasn't there.
Well, we don't know how much later
How long were they on this vacation? Like, a week, 2 days, a day, 3 hours. Who knows how long they spent at Itchy and Scratchy Land?
I'm just glad that it was a thorough A storyline with it was like all together with like bits and random pieces of like, you see Marge and Homer's day, you see Lisa and Bart's day.
Well, they start together. It was kind of like us going to Six Flags. We start with mom and dad, or well, not dad. We start with mom for the first half of the day, and then we're like, bye, and go ride our own rides after the fact. So,
well, Dad would come with us. He just wouldn't go on any of the roller coasters.
Yeah.
Because he didn't like roller coasters.
Yep. All right.
Plus, mom probably forced him to go.
Yeah. All right, guys. Let's finish it off with our character profile this week. And this week we have the horrible Roger Myers Sr. His identity: founder of Itchy and Scratchy International, disputed creator of Itchy and Scratchy cartoon characters.
Yep. Stars
in The Roger Myers Story, which calls him a quote-unquote gentle genius and beloved by the world. Chief successes: The Itchy and Scratchy Show, full-length musical Scratch-tasia, the wildly successful Pinocchio.
Pinocchio.
And criticized for the controversial 1938 cartoon Nazi Supermen Are Our Superiors. Wow. God, that's horrible. All right, guys. Well, this has been fun. Absolutely love this episode. So come find us on our social media. You can just head over to Instagram, The Simpsons Did It Pod. You can find all our content on there. You can head over to YouTube, The Simpsons Did It Podcast. Listen to all our back episodes on there. People have been really starting to dig all of our YouTube stuff. So keep it going. Our numbers have been going up on there. Slightly less on the subscribers. So if you are watching on there, because we're getting probably a good like 600 listens per week, which is amazing. But I just want to see those subscribers. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Head over to buymeacoffee.com/The Simpsons Did It. As you know, a couple weeks ago, we gave away awesome Simpsons Did It. Not Simpsons Did It, a Simpsons glow-in-the-dark puzzle to someone, and they won, and I sent them their puzzle, and they absolutely loved it. So if you guys want more prizes in the future and more merchandise, just donate it. Donate us some money, 5, 10, 15, whatever you see fit, and we can do those giveaways again. So until next time, I'm Steven Skolansky.
And I'm Robert Skolansky.
And this has been The Simpsons Did It.
Shh.